Welcome everyone, hope you're all having a fantastic day. Today, we're opening a Foundations box, a new set that just came out. Actually, it's coming out next week, but yesterday was the pre-release, so we're gonna open this today. I got one. Yesterday, I went to pre-release, had some fun there, got a box, and we're gonna open it, see what goodies we get. That's what we're gonna be doing today. Anyway, though. Let's get started and see what we open. Let's see if this is this focusing. Yes, it is. Nice. I do miss back when boosters had multiple different arts instead of just the same. That was a little bit more exciting. I don't know what. I guess I mean I know why they removed that because cuts expenses. I'm not gonna show every. Hold on. I need to get the mic closer. I'm not gonna show every single card unless they're like special. I've already seen a couple of them because I played in the pre-release. I'll kind of skim through most of them, and when I find something interesting, I'll show it. Obviously, I'll show the commons and the rares. Maybe I should get a closer view, but this is the setting that I have currently. This one, no. Inspiration from Beyond. I do like this one. I actually think this one's gonna go into one of my decks. One of my CDH decks, actually. Inspiration from Beyond. 3 mana, sorcery, mill 3 cards, and return an instant of sorcery from your graveyard to your hand. And then it has flashback for 7. My Storm deck can use this very effectively. And it's just get back a mana generation card. So I just think this one's actually kind of nice. Oh, Youthful Valkyrie. I believe this is actually a good card that sees play somewhere. I don't know if it's or it's just because it's an angel. Maybe just because it's an angel. I know it's worth something. Oh, we got ooh, nice. Okay, we got 2 rares. We got a Leyline Axe. This is the rare of the pack. Leyline Axe, 4 mana. If this card is in your opening hand, you may begin the game with it on the battlefield. An equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has double strike and trample. Equipped for 3. I actually lost to this in one game. And in another one where I faced it, where they actually did this on turn 1, I was able to win because I had the removal to kill their creatures. Because that's the rare of the pack. And we got a foil rare here. Here we go. This is a popular commander. 4 mana, 2/3 Menace Elf. Whenever this deals combat damage to a player, create that many 1/1 elves. And then you can tap 10 untapped elves you control. Each opponent loses 10 and you gain 10. It's a pretty popular elf commander. So it's nice to have this. I didn't have this one. It's nice that I got a foil one. And we got a cat. More tokens. Nice. I will take the token very much. I think for the most part, there's a couple of rares that I really want. Ooh, immediately, first card is like one of the best 1-drops in the game. Llanowar Elves, 1 mana, 1/1, taps for 1 green. It's kind of insane that we are going to be in a standard where this is legal. I remember back in the days when they said that this was too broken for standard. They didn't want any 1 mana dorks. And here we go. We're gonna have this in standard now. Oh boy, it's gonna be interesting to see how much that changes standard. It's also kind of insane we're gonna have sync twice. Very good card. Just two. For 5 mana, you can draw 2 cards. You can pay 2 to draw 1, and then you can pay 3 to draw another one. Very good value. 1 card, draw 2. Pretty good. What else we got here? Oh, Herald. I didn't know this card was in the set. Why do the elves have so many L's? Are they stupid? I know. I believe, if I am correct, I mean, I know what you're saying, but I think the reason why they have so many L's, uh, I choose white. Yes. This is a pretty decent one. Pretty decent and common, very popular in Commander. I don't actually use this because I don't have any monocolor deck that wants this, but nice to get one. Just nice to have in my collection because I'm pretty sure I don't have mine. And already we opened the first Mythic. Not exactly what I was looking for, but it is a new card. 6 mana, 7/7 trample. Whenever a creature you control does combat damage to a player. Oh my god, there's combat damage during your turn. Put that many +1/+1 counters on it. Okay, so basically you double the size of the creature. You may cast this card from your graveyard by removing 6 counters from more creatures you control in addition to paying its other costs. It's not bad, actually. It's a little bit like do nothing. It is resilient, though. It's just annoying that it doesn't do that much because it's just a doubler of. It's not even a doubler. It makes your creatures bigger. I don't know, but I'm sure this is gonna find a home somewhere. The stickiness is what makes this card a little bit like frustrating. This from among creatures. Okay, it has to be from creatures you control. I mean, green has a lot of ways to just generate counters. The question is this like relevant for a deck that wants counters? You have to hit to get counters from this? I don't know. It's a nice card though. It's an interesting one. And our foil is Goblin Borders. 3/2 for 3 raid. When this creature enters with a +1/+1 counter on it if you attack this turn. A pretty mediocre card. It's more for a limited environment. Also, so welcome, Vibrant. Sorry for not welcoming you. I kind of was excited looking at the cards. I hope you're having a good day, and hope you enjoy this content of me opening packs. Let's see, anything here that's like super relevant. I didn't actually know they printed this. So we got another one of these. Dazzling Angel, 3 mana, 2/3. Whenever another creature you control enters, you gain 1 life. I have a deck that cares about this, but 3 mana for this is so much. I like my my Soul Wardens at 1 mana, please. Please keep them at 1 mana. Is this good? I don't know. I think 3 mana makes it unplayable. Monkey is back! Fanatic Firebrand. 1/1 for 1. Hey, sacrifice this, deals 1 damage to any target. Very nice card. I don't think this is gonna have any play in the current standard, but maybe. We could have a different type of mono red that cares about that effect. Also, Vampire Nighthawk is going to be in standard. That's going to be interesting. I don't know if this card is good enough for nowadays. Man, this card would have been really good to get in the pre-release. Unfortunately, I didn't get it. Blatchwood Armor. This is a reprint, I believe. Hello. Gets +1/+1 for each forest you control. Just nice beefy aura. Oh, I needed one of these. Nice. Finally got this one. I had one of these, and I sold it when I sold my collection, and now I needed one back. 1 mana. Creatures your opponent's control enter. Tap. Whenever creature an opponent control enters, you gain 1 life. Pretty nice card. I'm very happy. I actually needed one of these, so nice I opened these. Nice. And we got a land, which is nice, and we got a token, an elf token. Land can go over there. And our foil, Fire Spitter Whelp. 3 mana, 2/2 flying. When you cast an creature or dragon spell, this deals 1 damage to each opponent. It's not bad. It's another one of these, like whenever you cast an creature, deal 1 damage to each opponent. The problem this card has is that there's just better versions of it, but it does have flying, and it does also care about dragon spells. It is also a dragon itself, which could be relevant. Actually, I do think this one probably has a little bit more potential to see some fringe play in certain decks. I could see a Spellslinger deck that cares about dragons. I could see something like that. What is this? Okay. Giant Grove. Oh wait, we're gonna have a standard with Giant Grove and the ley line in the format. Oh my god, the red ley line with Giant Grove is gonna be so stupid. +3/+3, just for free. Oh my, +6/+. Oh my god, that's gonna be so nuts. What else we got here? No, no. These are all kind of meh. This guy, I remember this guy. I remember back in the day when this guy was actually a pretty decent creature for like green in Commander, just a removal piece. Nowadays, this is just so fringe. How the mighty have fallen. When it enters attacks, draw then discard. As long as this creature gets +1 and does death. No, this is. Ooh, Pyrexia Arena. Nice. Very nice card to get. I don't think I need. No, I do have a deck that this can go into. Actually, I do have one deck that this can go into. Nice. Yeah, let me read. At beginning of your upkeep, you draw 1 card and you lose 1 life. Very simple for 3 mana. Very nice. And we got another foil. Hello. Flamewake Phoenix. 3 mana, 2/2 flying ace. This creature attacks each combat if able, and at the beginning of your turn, if you control a creature with a power 4 or greater, you may pay 1 red, and if you do, you return this from your graveyard to the battlefield. So, a nice, sticky, aggressive creature. I actually think this might see some play in Standard. It's relatively easy to trigger the effect nowadays. With how strong creatures are getting, like they're getting, like back in the day, this was actually relatively hard to get through because creatures were not as strong as they are today. But nowadays you can get like a 4/3 for like 3 mana, so nowadays it's pretty cheap. We got a Pauper All-Star, an Elf Ball All-Star, 2 mana 2/2. When this enters, if you control another elf, you make a 1/1 elf. All-Star in any Elf Ball deck. Just 2 bodies for 1. What else we have here? This one should be decent, I guess. I don't know, actually. Questionable. Hotfire Emulator, 2 mana, 2/2. Prowess. You can pay 1, sacrifice this creature. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature or planeswalker. It's fine. Not amazing. But maybe it has some potential. Maybe. Nah. If it was to any target, it would be stupid. Oh yeah, this only targets creature and planeswalker. Never mind, this is trash. This is trash. Absolute garbage. Ugh, yuck. Got a dragon. Nice. And what is this? No, and our rare is 1,000-Year Storm. 6 mana enchantment. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it for each other instant or sorcery spell you've cast before this turn. You may choose new targets for the copies. This used to be a mythic. It has been downgraded to a rare. I still feel like this is like mythic level. It is a very powerful enchantment. It is an enchantment that does nothing when you play it, but it's still like very powerful. I don't have a place for it though, unfortunately. My Ral deck doesn't need this. This is kind of a win more for my Ral deck. What else we got here? Bite it down. New cat. This one is substituting the dog. Although the dog is an enchantment, but this is not an enchantment. Could be relevant. When this enters, draw a card. It's a cat. It's a 1/1 for 2. So like the dog version. Or the cat version of the dog version. We got Burst Lightning. Very nice card that's going to be in Standard now. I don't know if it's good enough for standard. It is, like, 5 mana is a lot, but it's also versatile, can help you early game to kill new small stuff. And late game, it's just like 4 damage to face potentially, or like kill big thing. I feel like this is probably going to see some standard play. Oh my god, another downgrade here. This used to be a rare. Dwaynon, Glit Leaf Dayan. I remember when this first came out. I played the pre-release. I think I even had this in my pre-release back when this first came out. 4 mana 3/4. Reach. Other elves you control get +1/+1, and whenever this attacks, you gain 1 life for each attacking elf you control. This wasn't that good. I mean, it was fine. It was a lord, but you weren't like that happy. Like, you were fine. If you were playing elves and you had this was fine. It's just +1/+1 to your other elves, but it wasn't like an amazing card. You needed to be really heavy on the elves for this to be like decent. But it is interesting to see it being downgraded to a uncommon. Another legendary here. 2 mana 1/3 flying. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, creatures you control get +1. And trample till end of turn. This one I know that is a deck. If I remember correctly, this is more like a token deck. You play with like cards that make tokens. You buff them all, and then you attack, you alpha strike, and you kill your opponent. A pretty decent card. In Commander, I mean. Commander. Stroke of Midnight, 3 mana removal, just destroy non-land permanents. Pretty useful. Its controller gets 1/1, but who cares? You got to destroy their annoying planeswalker or their annoying artifact or enchantment, and they got a 1/1 out of it. Diagraph Ghoul. This is going to be a standard. I don't know how good a 2/2 for 1 is in standard. We're going to find out. Could be really strong. Probably not going to be that special, though. I feel like just vanilla creatures nowadays are just not good enough. And our rare is Consuming Aberration. 5 mana XX. Its power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in your opponent's graveyard. Whenever you cast a spell, each opponent reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a land. Then put those cards into their graveyard. Oh. Pretty decent for limited. Pretty good in limited. Outside of that, this is basically unplayable. It's very niche card. And our foil is the new Blood Artist guy. Hello? 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 Why is it not? There we go. 1/1 for 2 mana. Whenever this or another creature you control dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. It's fine. It's a weaker Blood Artist. I don't really think this will probably see the least amount of play, because it's the weakest version so far. But it is a Blood Artist. It's another one. Hey guys, how many Blood Artists can we make until we run out of ideas? Maybe next time we'll make a rare Blood Artist that triggers off artifact and enchantments. Well, an artifact that triggers on everything except creatures. Now that would be interesting. What is this? Oh! Kafar Commando. Oh yeah, people were playing with this card. That's so good. Man, I remember I was having so much difficulty finding a version of this. I could finally put an English version of this. I have a Spanish one because I couldn't find an English one because it was actually hard to get one. And here we go. It got reprinted. I could put this one in it. Oh my god, I'm so happy. Hold on, I'm going to put it on the side. It's going to go straight into my Commander and substitute the Spanish one. Oh yeah, let me read what it does. 3/1 for 2 mana flash, and you can pay 1 and sack it to destroy target artifact or enchantment. Pretty good to destroy stuff, basically. Okay, what else we got here? We have Tolarium Terror, nice popper card right here. 5. Oh, sorry, I'm tired. I slept very little. 7 mana 5/5, Ward 2, and it costs 1 less for each instant and sorcery in your graveyard. So potentially this can cost you can pay this for 1 blue. They usually play with anti. Anti is banned in any and all formats. So the answer is no. Why would I play for anti? I like keeping my cards, thank you very much. Another blood art. Oh my god, 3 like... Ooh, another mythic. Okay. That's already happening, another mythic. We open Spectral Sailor, 1/1 for 1 with Flash Flying, and you can pay for it to draw a card. It's actually a pretty decent card to have. Just a good draw engine. I mean, it's not a good draw engine, but, you know, for what it is, if you care about spirits or you care about pirates, it's a decent card to just have in your deck. The Blood Artist again. Reassembling Skeleton, which is a nice annoying creature that keeps coming back for 2 mana. 1/1 for 2, and then you can pay 2 to return this from your graveyard to the battlefield tap. So it's just a very sticky card. And then our mythic, our second mythic of this set, of this box. 3/5 for 5. If a source you control will deal damage to an opponent or permanent an opponent controls, it does double the damage. So basically just doubles all the damage. That's it. All damage doubled. End of story. Doesn't matter where they come from. I guess it matters that it comes from me, right? Yeah, it has to be from my source. So it doubles all my damage. Pretty good card, I would say. This will definitely see play. I think most of these doublers tend to be like either they double combat damage or they double non-combat damage. This just doubles all of it. Like, this one doesn't care where it comes from. It just cares that it's gonna be doubled. Okay, we already opened 2 mythics. We haven't opened the really good ones, so not too happy with... I mean, I don't know. The dragon probably is a good pull, actually. We'll check the prices to see what exactly is going on with the set. I actually don't know what the prices are for the set. Okay, Spirit again. Okay, we got a special art here. Ooh, oh my god. So many good cards. Okay, we can start with... We got Swift Boots. Oh my god, Foot Boots. This is a Commander staple. Nice. I don't think I need this. I guess... No, I do have one deck that cares about this. I do have one deck that cares about this. I don't know if it already has it, but if it does, I'll just trade, because this actually is a pretty nice art. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice pickup there. We got Giada, the 2-mana 2/2 that cares about angels. Flying, vigilance. You can tap it to give 1 white to spend on angel spells, and each other angel you control enters with a +1/+1 counter on it for each angel you already control. So basically, it's a mana dork for angels. It's a commander. Very popular commander. Very nice art, too. Very nice, very nice. And we also got another foil. That's our 3rd rare foil, by the way. That's pretty interesting. We're getting... I don't think I've ever opened that many rare foils, like, in a row in a single, like, box. That's pretty uncommon. 3/6 for 5. Instant sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. And whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell, you draw a card. I do have a deck that will potentially want this. I will have to test out. The fact that it costs 5 mana is a lot, but it has 2 effects that I do care about a lot in my deck. So I will definitely be testing it out and see if it works. Also, very nice planes here. I mean, I wouldn't really call it a planes, but it does have a very nice chilling image. And a food token. Let's look at the next pack and see what we got. Another giant growth. A heart. I don't think the heart is that good. I mean, it's still good. It sees a lot of playing commander. It's a 3 mana 2/2, pay 3 and sacrifice this. You ramp for 2. You fetch 2 basics and put it on the battlefield. It still sees a lot of play. I do think it has kind of been outscaled nowadays. It's a very slow card, but it's still fine. Also, we got Exsanguinate, very popular card in Commander. I'm not really a fan of it. It's a 2 black and X. Each opponent loses X life. You gain a life equal to the life lost this way. It sees a lot of play. I don't think it's that good. I think it's one of those cards that's like new players like see the big numbers and they go like, yay, big numbers, and then they just get comboed out of their life and they cry because their big X did not kill anyone. But, you know, it's still a very popular card, so it's going to go into that pile. Archmage of Runes, again, non-foil version. Pretty nice. I already have 3 of these. Jesus. Because I opened one in my pre-release box. So that's 3 of them. Am I going to open a playset? That would be kind of interesting. I don't think the card is worth that much. So hopefully not. Shivan Dragon has been downgraded to an uncommon. I'm not sure if this had already happened. I feel like it had already happened, but it's kind of funny to see Shivan Dragon, which used to be a rare, now be an uncommon. As an uncommon, it's actually pretty strong. It's a very strong card in Limited. Just a big, beefy boy. What else we got here? Okay, our rare. This is a pretty weak pack. Homunculus Horde. 4 mana 2/2. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, you make a copy of this. This can get out of control relatively fast. You do have to draw 2 cards per turn. That could be complicated depending on what you're doing. I think if you have like a Ristic Study out, becomes relatively simple to get triggering, even on an opponent's turn. But obviously, if you're only triggering this on your turn, it's not that good. But if you're triggering on every turn, then it does become a little nutty. Like you do, let's imagine you play this and you trigger on the turn you play it, and on the turn, every single turn until it gets back to you. So you trigger it on your turn, becomes 2. Trigger on the next player, becomes 4. Trigger on the next one, becomes 8. You trigger on the final one, it becomes 16. It gets back to your turn, you have 16 of these guys. If you trigger it again, you have 32. That's a lot. It just gets progressively worse. Another Kafar Commando, very nice. So another monkey. I think this card might have potential. This card did surprise me a lot in the limited set. 3 mana, 3/2 Death Touch, Raid. At the beginning of your end step, if you attack this turn, each opponent loses 3 life unless they sacrifice an online permanent of their choice or discard a card. I mean, this is a very decent effect just for attacking. I don't know, I feel like this card might actually be strong enough to see some play. It only triggers on your end step, though, but it's still probably good enough. Another Whelp. Whoa. Oh, hello. Ooh, that looks nice. We opened another Mythic, but not this one. Drakusef, Maw of Flames. 7 mana, 7/7. I actually someone hit me with this in the face in the pre-release, and somehow I still won. When it has flying, whenever it attacks, it does 4 damage to any target and 3 damage to each of up to 2 other targets. So it's basically a lot of damage just going everywhere. Oh, now that I'm reading it, my opponent missed a target. He only made 2 targets. I guess he just didn't read the card properly. I mean, I didn't read the card properly either. It's fine. It's just a limited card. This, though, hello. Niv Mizzet. Visionary. 6 mana, 5/5 flying. Have no maximum hand size. Whenever a source you control does non-combat damage to an opponent, you draw that many cards. This is a pretty good commander and a pretty strong card in commander, I feel. This will probably see a decent amount of play in commander. I think this is a very powerful new Niv Mizzet. The only question is, does it outperform the other ones? I guess that's ultimately what the question is going to become. And we got a pretty sink twice foil. Ooh. That's actually a very nice art. I like that. Unfortunately, I don't think I have a deck for it, but it's nice art. I'll have to look if I have one in RAL deck. If I do, I'll play it there, but otherwise, it's just a very nice sink twice for my collection. So we've already opened 3 mythics. That's way sooner than I expected. Another Cathar Commando, another Giant Growth, a Braid, very nice card. Nice to have more of this. 2 mana, instant destroy target artifact or deal 3 damage to target creature. Very nice, very nice. Just efficient card removal. We have the new Eternal Witness. Nowhere near as good as Eternal Witness. 4 mana for free. When this enters, return target permanent card from your graveyard to your hand. It's still decent. I don't think it's going to substitute Eternal Witness, though. I think Eternal Witness and the other one that costs 4 are still like the premier way to do this. And the rare of the pack is Sylvan Scavenging. 3 mana enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, choose 1. You can put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Or you can make a 3/3 raccoon token if you control a creature with power 4 or greater. It's a mech token generator. He's not here, so the joke doesn't work as well. But if you know, you know. And Snakeskin Veil. 1 mana instant, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. It gains hexproof until end of turn. This is play in standard, and it's a decent card too, even in commander, as a way to protect your stuff that you care about. I don't think I have a place for it, but it's gonna be in my collection. So, off to the side you go. Oh my god. Can I... Hold on. I need to, like... Oh, I can't move this? That's annoying. Okay, well, I can't do anything about that. Sink twice. Okay. Bushwhack is pretty good. Joust Through. Is Joust Through good? No, you have better right now in standard. You have one that exiles, and like does the same, but exiles the creature instead of killing it. This is an interesting one. 4 mana 3/2. Whenever you gain life, you put a counter on it, and when it dies, return another target non-bear creature card with mana value less or equal to this creature's power from your graveyard to the battlefield. So for 4 mana, you have a 3/2. And if it dies, you can return something that has converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard. And if you gain life, this gets bigger. Is that good? 4 mana for that. That's a lot, though. I don't know. It might be good. Might be not good. 4 mana is a lot. That's kind of the issue. But it is on a creature. It's also a death trigger. I would have to test out. It's also a big beater. I would have to try it out because it's a little bit confusing if it's good or not. The cost kind of makes it a little bit awkward. And then we got Banner of Kinship. 5 mana artifact. As this artifact enters, choose a creature type. This artifact enters with a fellowship counter on it for each creature you control of the chosen type. Creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1 for each fellowship counter on this artifact. So basically, this is like an overrun type of effect, where if you have a lot of tokens, let's say like the picture has a lot of mice tokens. Let's say you have 10 of them. You play this, you choose mice. They all get, this gets 10 counters because you have 10 of them. So every single one gets +10/+10 while this is on the battlefield. It's probably pretty strong, actually. Especially for, like, token decks or just tribal decks like elves. Just a massive buff. Yeah, this one would probably see play. In Commander. It's always in Commander, though. And I feel like I'm always saying, like, it'll see play in Commander. Like usual. Tatiova! That one also got reprinted. Nice. 5 mana, 3/3, landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Very powerful card. Always been an uncommon. Ooh, hello. That's not... We got a Phoenix again. The second one we opened. And we got Day of Judgment. Destroy all creatures. I did not know there was a Wrath in this set. Good thing I didn't get Wrathed every single... Good thing that I didn't have to face this and get Wrathed by someone. Oh god, that would have been pretty bad. I mean, was my deck that wide? My deck wasn't that wide, so I guess it... No, it still would have been terrible to get Wrathed. Getting Wrathed in Limited is such a feel bad. Another snake. Ooh, nice, nice, nice. An offer you can't refuse. Such a good card. Such a good one. This one's actually worth money, by the way. I mean, I don't know if it's worth money now, because this is the first reprint it's getting. But for a while, this was going like up to like $2, like for an uncommon, and it probably has gone down now, and it's gonna go down now because this is the second reprint. This is the first reprint it's getting, but it's very nice. It's a very, very good card. 1 mana, counter non-creature spell. They get 2 treasure tokens. Who cares? You stop them from winning with 1 mana. Very nice card, and nice to get another copy of it because I only had 1. So now I have 2. We also got Resolute Reinforcements. 2 mana, 1/1 flash. When it enters, you make a 1/1 token. It's a nice card in Standard. Sees play in a certain deck that generates a lot of stuff. And our rare is an interesting card. Electro Duplicate. It's an alternative art. 3 mana, sorcery, create a token that's a copy of target creature you control, except it has haste, and at the beginning of the end step, sacrifice this token. And has a flashback of 4 mana. 4 mana? Wasn't it like 5 or 6? I thought the flashback was more. I don't know how good this card is. The make a copy in red is not new. There's a lot of cards already do that. This one, the only difference between this one and the other ones is this one's more expensive, but it has flashback. So I guess that's kind of the upside. The other ones are cheaper, but you only get 1 use of them. This one is more expensive, but you get 2 uses of it. It might be good enough to see some play, but obviously this type of effect requires there to be a pretty strong ETB that you want to copy. But the fact that it has flashback could also mean it sees some play, because, you know, if you have a mill deck that cares about some ETB, you could play with this because it can get milled and you could still use it from the graveyard. So it definitely has some uses. Hero's Downfall. To be fair, this is not this already got downgraded before, but man, it still hurts to see Hero's Downfall. I was there when Hero's Downfall was first printed, and it's kind of sad to see it just be an uncommon nowadays. Back in the day, this was rare quality. Destroy a creature or planeswalker for 3 mana and instant speed, man. And now it's like they just print those like they're nothing. Oh man, kind of sad. Oh nice, we got another mythic already. This was a good one. It's actually one that I wanted, mostly because I was curious about its effect. This is my 4th mythic already on this box, and we're still like halfway there. Valkyrie's Call, 5-mana enchantment. Whenever a non-token, non-angel creature you control dies, return it to the battlefield under its owner's control with a +1/+1 counter on it. It has flying and is an angel in addition to its other types. So basically, all your stuff gets undying. Basically. It's not really undying, but it's kind of undying. They get to die once, and they come back stronger. And that is pretty powerful. This is a very powerful enchantment. Luckily, I did not have to face it. Otherwise, I think I would have cried. Oh, nice. Hold on. Oh my god, my throat. No. What is this? Vampire Nighthawk. Okay, none of these matter. We got another Swift Foot Boots. Very nice reprint. Second one we get. And we got an Alesha, which is a card I wanted. Alesha who laughs at fate. 3 mana 2/2 first strike whenever she attacks with a +1 counter on her. And at the beginning of your end step, if you attack this turn, return a creature card from your graveyard with mana value less or equal to her power. So if you attacked and you play her, you get to return something with 2 or less, and then if she's bigger, you get to return bigger stuff. Very nice card, and going to be an interesting commander to build around and see how I can make her work. If I want to make a commander with her, because I already have a lot of commanders to work with, so I might just ignore that. Okay, what else we got here? We got another legendary. It's an uncommon. 2 mana, 1/2 haste. Whenever she attacks while you control a creature with power 2 or greater, she gets +2/+2 until end of turn, and she can tap for red or green. So she's a mana dork that can attack, who becomes bigger when she attacks if you have something that's also big. And we got a cat. The 3 mana 2/2. Other cats you control get +1/+1. And whenever it or another non-token cat you control enters, you make a cat token. It's a cat. It makes cats. Whenever other cats come in and say hi to cats, it's a cat. It's fine. I'm not really a cat person. I'm more of a dog person. It's a fine card. It's not like that special. You need to be very built around it for it to like start doing something relevant. Burst lightning. I think I put this here. What is this? Huh. I didn't know that. Exsanguinate. Oh, hello. We got 2 rares. We got Ashroot Animist, 4 mana, 4/4 trample. When this creature attacks another creature you control, gains trample and gets X+X until end of turn, where X is this creature's power. So when this attacks, it gives +4/+4 and trample to another creature. And if it's bigger, it gives more. So you know it's fine. This one's good though. This one's very good. 2 mana, 2/1. Raid. At the beginning of your end step, if you attack this turn, you make a 1/1 goblin. That's pretty good. This is pretty strong. Yeah, that's just a very aggressively pushed creature. Just makes a lot of guys. I wonder if we're gonna have a goblin meta in standard. I don't know if there's enough goblins to do it though. I don't think there is yet, but we could have. Definitely could have in the next following sets. I feel like they printed a lot of good goblins in this one. Reclamation Sage. That's a nice one. 3 mana, 2/1. When it enters, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Very nice. Elf that just destroys something. Ooh, nice art. Also, Genesis Wave. So, 3 green and X. Sorcery. Reveal top X cards from your library. You may put any number of permanent cards with mana value X or less from among them onto the battlefield. Then put all cards revealed this way that weren't put on the battlefield onto your graveyard. So, you pay X, you reveal X, put all the costs X or less onto the battlefield, everything else graveyard. Very powerful card. I saw someone cast 2 of these on the pre-release. It was kind of nutty, and it's a very decent card. And now we got a comma. Very nice art. I opened this one in my pre-release, but not this art. This art is much better. I like this art. This is an 8/12 for 7 mana. Can't be countered. Trample. Ward 4, because everything has to have ward nowadays. And when it deals combat damage to a player, you make 4 3/3 blue serpents named Comma's Coil. It's a big beating stick, and it beats pretty fast. Pretty fast. 7 mana. 7 mana for that big of a beating stick is pretty high. I think the ward part is what scares me. If only it had a haste. Sing twice. Bushwhack. Reassembly skeleton. And we opened a Solemn Simulacrum. 4 mana, 2/2. When it enters, you may search your library for a basic land card. Put that card onto the battlefield tapped. And then when this dies, you may draw a card. All-Star in Commander. I do think it has kind of... there used to be a time where I believed... There used to be a time where I believed that Solemn Simulacrum was a must-have in pretty much any Commander deck. Excluding green, I think green probably was the only color that didn't need a Simulacrum because they just have better ramp options. But if you weren't in green, my idea was if you're not playing green, you have to play Simulacrum, because otherwise, how do you ramp? You don't have good ramp in these colors. But nowadays, I kind of do think Simulacrum is just a very slow play. I do think there are decks that do want it and that can use it effectively, but I do believe most can't. I think most decks, it's just too slow. Doesn't do enough. Witness Protection. 1 blue. Enchant creature. Enchant the creature loses all abilities and is a green-white citizen. Creature with base power, and toughness 1/1. Very nice. Just to shut down a creature. Don't have to deal with it now. Another Whelp. Another offer you can't refuse. Very nice. A foil offer you can't refuse. Now that's good. Very nice. Oh man, that's already almost a playset. And we got a card I wanted. Mostly to test out. Exemplar of Light. 4 mana, 3/3. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. And whenever you put 1 or more counters on this creature, you draw a card. This triggers once each turn. Very nice with Soul Sisters. If you have one of those Soul Sisters that triggers on any creature and you have this out, you basically draw a card every turn, assuming everyone plays a creature every turn. It's a card I'm gonna test out in my Amalia to see if she's good enough. If it's good enough, I'm not entirely sure. 4 mana is a lot, but it is a lot of card draw for relatively no cost. Another elf. Oh, here we go. I forgot about this card. Man, this is the first one I'm opening and the first one I'm seeing. I didn't see anyone with this card in pre-release. 2 mana free one, Kicker for 2 mana. So for 4 mana for the whole effect. Has lifelink, and when it enters, if it was kicked, return target non-land permanent card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. This card is really good. I think this card is going to be... I am definitely going to put this in my Amalia, and I'm going to see if there's other decks that could potentially want this. The reason why this card is really good is because it can return any non-land permanent. So you can return artifact, you can return enchantments. Enchantments particular, there's a lot of good enchantments, especially if you're playing like Orzhov, so black and white. That for 2 mana, there are like 2 mana reanimation spells. And this card is pretty good just because of that. Because you can get back those enchantments, reanimate other stuff. Very nice. And our... Oh, wait, this goes here. And our rare is another card I also wanted. Blasphemous Edict. Blasphemous Edict. 5 mana sorcery. Each player sacrifices 13 creatures of their choice. And you may pay 1 black rather than pay this spell's mana cost if there are 13 or more creatures on the battlefield. I actually don't know how good this card is compared to Blasphemous Act. Just yesterday when I was playing Commander, we did have a board situation where someone was able to play Blasphemous Act for 1 mana because there were 8 creatures. But in that case, Blasphemous Edict would actually have to be for 5 mana because there were not 13 creatures. This is a bit of a weird one. It is important to note that that specific board state that I was in was only 3 players and not 4 players. In 4 players, it probably will be easier to get this to 13 creatures to get it through 1 mana. I don't know. I'm going to have to see this a little bit more in action to see if it's good enough. I feel like it's one of those cards where at face value, it looks like it should be really strong, but it might actually be one of those that's kind of a trap and doesn't work as well as you might think it does. Definitely has to be one of those you kind of have to pay attention and see. This pack is pretty weak. No good uncommons or commons. And our rare is an Hydra. 3 mana 0/0, enters with a +1/+1 counter, has trample and has landfall. Whenever you play a land, it enters with that. It doubles its counters, so it keeps getting bigger whenever you drop a land. It's fine. It's a big beater, nothing special. It's more of a limited card, to be fair. I guess it could also be like a standards card. No, there's no way it's a standard card. 1 mana, like it's a 1/1 for 3 mana is not good enough. Even if there were fetches, I don't think it would be good enough. Throw a possibility, Bushwhack. Ooh, Giganta. Scale and... Or not Giganta, Galta. It's a Galta instead. We got Galta, that big dino. Elder Dinosaur, it's a 12 mana 12/12. It costs X to cast, where X is the total power of creatures you control. So the more power you have on the board, the cheaper it gets, up down to 2 mana. And it has trample. It's just a very big beating stick for cheap mana. Actually, it's actually a relatively strong card. So should not be underestimated. Just because it has no abilities. The fact that it's very cheap makes it actually quite strong. Meteor Golem. Nice reprint. 7 mana 3/3. And when it enters, destroy target non-land permanent opponent controls. Just a pretty strong loopable creature that just can keep blowing up shit. Oh, that's our 5th legendary, and I imagine it's going to be our last legendary. It is Zimon, Paradox Sculptor. 4 mana 1/4. Beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter up to 2 target creatures you control. And then you can tap pay 2 and tap it and double the number of each kind of counters on up to 2 target creatures or artifacts you control. It's kind of interesting, the artifacts. Oh man, I just realized the fact that it can double artifacts is a little bit scary. There are a couple of artifacts that generate mana based on counters they have. And if you can double those, oh my, that's a lot of mana. This might be a nuts card. I guess the one weakness it has is that it is Simic, and Simic generally don't care that much about artifacts. They don't have that much artifact synergy. But they do have a couple artifact synergy cards. So it's not like they have zero. They do have a couple, but they're not really the focus of it. But maybe you could build a deck around it. Definitely something to consider. I think this one's fine. Ooh, okay. Oh, nice. We got 2 cards. One I already opened, and the other one I didn't, but I wanted. 9 lives Familiar. 1/1 for 3 mana. It's a cat. It enters with 8 revival counters on it if you cast it. And when it dies, if it had a revival counter on it, return it to the battlefield with 1 fewer revival counter at the beginning of the next end step. So basically, this has 9 lives. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's a cat and it has 9 lives. It's thematic. I don't know how good this is. I don't know. It is a lot of bodies for 1 card. It is 9 bodies for 1 card. That is a lot of sack triggers that you can get. It might be good enough to actually see some good play, even in high power tables. And then we have Raise the Pass. 4 mana, sorcery, return all creature cards with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. I have a deck where this fits like a glove. And that's where it's going to. There's nothing else to say, just a big reanimation spell. Bring back all the shit. How many more do I have? I think I have... oh no, we have still a couple. Is that 9? No, we got 12 packs to go. We still got 12 packs. I'm pretty sure we're not going to open another Mythic. I guess we could open a foil Mythic, but I doubt it. Probably that's it for Mythics. I don't know. I guess we didn't open an Omniscience, which is... yeah, it's fine. And no doubling season. Oh my god, I didn't open a doubling season. What? Sad. Sag. No doubling season for me. Another card that's got downgraded. Imprisoned in the Moon. 3 mana aura. Enchant creature, land, or planeswalker enchanted permanent is a colorless land and loses all cards and abilities. So, this used to be a rare, now it's uncommon. Ooh, what is this? Oh, yes, I wanted this, and it's special art and everything. Nice. We got Kranko, Mob Boss. This is a nice card, a nice reprint. I do think this card needed a reprint. It's been a while since we've seen this guy. 4 mana, 3/3, tap. You make X 1/1 goblins, where X is the number of goblins you control. So every time you tap it, you make goblins, and then you make more 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 goblins. It just keeps making more and more goblins. Very good card at making goblins. And we got Abyssal Harvester. 3 mana, 3/2. Tap it, exile target creature from a graveyard that was put there this turn. Create a token that's a copy of it, except it's a nightmare in addition to its other types. Then exile all other nightmare tokens you control. This is actually a very interesting card. I'm very interested to see how good it is going to be. I'm definitely want to try it out. I think this card is kind of bananas. But it might not be. You do have to target a creature that entered the graveyard that turn. Even so, I do think that if you kind of get this out really early, it does shut down a lot of combos, and it also potentially gives you a lot of good ETBs that you might want. Say? I think it's a pretty decent card. And I'm definitely going to test it out and see if it's good enough. Real possibilities. Dude, this is so annoying. Hold on, give me 1 second. So that I can... There we go. This should improve a little bit. Bushwhack. Another witness protection. I didn't know this card existed. Bulk up. Slag Storm. 3 mana, deal 3 damage to every creature. Or to every player. Yeah, that's it. 3 mana, deal 3 to everything, basically. It's a board wipe in red. It's a very popular type of board wipe, but not exactly what I'm looking for. To be fair, at this point, I don't really remember what I'm looking for. I'm gonna have to look at the cards and see what I missed. And, well, we'll find out soon. Once we get to the looking at the cards. I guess I'll put it here, though. Oh, this was another one. Yeah, this was another rare I really wanted. Nice, I'm opening... At least I'm opening the ones that I think I needed. Zul Ashur, Lich Lord, 2 mana, 2/2, ward, pay 2 life. You can tap it, and you may cast target zombie creature from your graveyard this turn. Very nice card. I am very interested to see where this card goes. I think this card is probably going to be very powerful. It's going to see a lot of play. Even maybe in... Nah, I don't... Maybe not standard, but I wouldn't be surprised if it sees, like, it becomes a commander staple. Especially in zombie decks. But I don't even think you need to have it in a zombie deck. You could just have, like, very powerful zombie ETBs that you want to keep repeating every single turn. And so you play with it. Oh, hello. We got Galta again. But now special art. Special art Galta. This one's more pretty. And that's it for this one. 5 packs. Can we open something unique here? I don't know if there's special guests in this set. There probably is. Oh my god, it's another One World Elves. This is the second one I'm opening. 2 in 1 box. That's so bad. Ooh, another one. Nice. We got another Abyssal Harvester. So this is the guy that exiles. Very nice. Got another one. And we got a card that I think is absolute trash. 3 mana sorcery. Draw cards for... Draw a card for each different mana value among non-land permanents you control. This is a lot harder than you would think. You need so much good stuff to be going your way. You basically need to already be winning for this to draw you that many cards. But I could see some decks that maybe could pull it off. But I think most decks just, at most, are drawing like 2 or 3. Drawing like 2 cards. Maybe 3 cards if people aren't interacting with them. But I think at most it's just a divination. A 3 mana, draw 2. And at best it's like draw 3 or 4. Realistically, anyway. Braid. Oh yeah, you were also a card. Kellen. Hello. We opened a Kellen. Oh, 2/1 for 1. Legendary creature. Then you can pay 2. If it's a scout, which it is, it becomes Human Fairy Detective. It gains whenever it deals combat damage to a player. Exile top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. And then you can pay 3, and it becomes 3/2 with double strike. I've heard people say that this is like Ragavan, except better because you can exile the top card of your library instead of the opponent, and you normally want to play your cards more than your opponents. I don't know what weed or drug they're smoking. This is not Ragavan. Not even close. 1 doesn't have haste. Ragavan Dash gives it haste. 2, doesn't make treasure, so it doesn't ramp you. The whole point of Ragavan is that you play it on turn 1 in non-green decks, so that you can ramp out a turn on turn 2 your 3-drop. That's the whole point of Ragavan. This is not Ragavan. I don't think this is anywhere close to Ragavan. I still think this is a pretty decent card. It does have to be killed because the potential to gain double strike, a 3/2 double strike is pretty strong, but it is also an investment of 6 mana. And I'm not too sure that that is something you relatively want. It might be one of those cards that's a little bit too much mana cost. Too much mana sink that has to go in. But maybe it is actually really strong, and I'm the one that's dumb and doesn't understand that a 2/1 vanilla 1-drop is good enough for constructed. Another Blood Artist. Curator of Destinies. This is an interesting one. 6 mana, 5/5, can't be countered. Flying, when it enters, look at top 5 cards of your library, separate them into a face-down pile and a face-up pile. An opponent chooses one of those piles, put that pile into your hand and the other into your graveyard. It's fine. I don't really like it. I think this time I was about to put it in the trash. I think the fact that my first instinct was to put it into the trash pile over here pretty much tells you my opinion of the card. I don't think it's that good. It's way overcosted. I don't really like. I actually prefer. Thank you for the stretch. I actually prefer showing them the 2 piles and to have one hidden. I think having the one hidden generally ends with less mind games than the one that has them both revealed. But, you know, that's just me. Thank you for the stretch and thank you for the hydrate. I'll hydrate in just a bit. Let me just finish this and I'll go fetch me some, well, not water, but some latte. We got a Burnishing Heart, which I already had, and we got a Drake Hatcher. 1/3 for 2, Vigilance Prowess. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may put that many incubated counters on it. Then you can remove 3 counters from it and make a 2/2 Drake with flying. I actually won a game with this. I gave it +1/+1 a counter, and it just kept hitting for free every turn with Prowess. And it became making Drakes every turn, and my opponent could do anything about it, and they died. Very nice. I don't think it's that good of a card, though. It just so happened that I had the pump spell for it. Okay, last pack. So far, no special guests. I assume there's not going to be any special guests. I imagine there's not going to be any mythic either, so it's just going to be a run-of-the-mill pack with just one very sad rare. One rare, but not a sad one. It's a rare I wanted. I think this rare is actually super strong, and I do think it's actually going to see some play. Alenda, Saint of Dusk, 4 mana, 4/4, lifelink, hexproof from instance, which in normal Magic terms basically means she has hexproof, because most removal is instant. Not all of it, but most art is instant, so this is basically unkillable. As long as your life total is greater than your starting life total, she gets +1/+1 and has menace, and she gets an additional +5/+5 as long as your life total is at least 10 or greater than your starting life total. I think this is going to be such a nasty Voltron deck in Commander, where you just equip this, enchant it, and because it has hexproof from the instance, it's going to be so hard to interact because most removal is instant based. There is a couple that is like creature base and enchantment base, but most is instant, and this is just going to just smack people and kill them. The lifelink also makes it hard for you to be able to race against it. It can just And lifelink does make the math a lot more complicated because you can play with cards that care about life gain that normally you wouldn't play in Voltron decks that do help a lot with life with attacking and whatnot. So okay, overall, not too bad. I mean, we're gonna look at now in more in depth because we weren't really like paying much attention. What is this? Scion of the. Oh, this is I forget. Kiara? No, not Kiara. Kiora? It's a legendary token. Oh, hello. Also, Comas Coil. Hello. Double faced. Oh, tokens are double faced now. I didn't even notice. Wait, are they double faced? Or is this just a special one? Oh no, they are double faced. Hello. Oh yeah, all of them are double faced. Well, that's kind of cool. Ooh. Oh, foods are treasures. That's so cool. That's so nice. Oh, that's really useful. Huh. Okay, that's actually kind of useful. Neat. I need a lot of tokens actually for one specific deck, so that's actually kind of useful. Okay. Okay, so the most expensive card is Bloodthirsty Conqueror, which we did not open. The second one is Sire of the Seven Deaths, which is a big Eldrazi. I didn't open that in the box, but I did open that in my pre-release, so that's pretty nice. Dublin Season, which I did mention, we didn't open, and it's the third most expensive card. And all of those cards are kind of like basically like between 19 to like $15. So there's not like any expensive card. Obviously, these cards are they aren't out yet, so we don't know what the price is actually going to end up being. We also don't know how much Foundation is going to be opened. Historically, core sets tend to be generally ignored by the player base. Not that many people open core sets, so a lot of cards that come out only in core sets tend to rise up in price because there's not that many of them running around. But core sets also tend to reprint a lot of cards, so just because a card is expensive from one core set doesn't mean it's not going to get reprinted eventually in another core set or some other product. A very good example of that is Tractus. Tractus back in the day used to be very expensive, and now it's worthless because it's gotten like a billion reprints, and also because it doesn't see any play. Obviously, this not seeing any play helps a lot. W season, we don't know how much it's going to be costing right now. What it's going to be costing once this comes out and once people start opening it. But the fact that it's important to note that Double Season is a card that before this was at around like $30, and now it's gone down to $15. So that is a pretty substantial decrease in cost. It basically cut it in half. So that's how much a reprint can affect the cost of a card. So Double Season is gone. Now the next card, the fourth most expensive, we did open that one, is the Dragon, the first mythic we actually opened. Twin Flame Tyrant, $7. Yes, it's not that expensive. This is gonna be pretty cheap set. It will depend more on whether or not cards are going to raise in price. I do think the Dragon will likely go up in price. I don't think this is a Dragon that's going to be reprinted that soon. And it is a doubler. So I do feel like this type of card is probably just going to go up in price as time goes on. It's kind of going to end up like a red doubling season where it doubles the damage. So people are going to be pretty happy with the Dragon. So Dragon is first, which is not a good sign. Our most expensive card is like $7. The second is another mythic. Actually, no, our first mythic was this worm. It's also $7. I don't know why. I think the worm is actually going to go down and it's going to be kind of be a bulk mythic, but maybe I'm wrong and it will actually be decently expensive. Hopefully that's the case. Also, I just realized I didn't open a single planeswalker. Wow. Not a single planeswalker. That's pretty bad. After that, we got the edict. The blasphemous edict. It is at $5. Surprised to see this card at $5. Surprised to see this card. Yeah, there's so many other rares. I would expect it to be above it, and I'm surprised it's at 5. I think it's mostly because people are kind of predicting it to be like Blasphemous Act. Blasphemous Act, I'm pretty sure, is worth nothing. I'm almost certain no Blasphemous Act is worth nothing. Maybe like $1 because every red deck plays with Blasphemous Act. Um, oh, never mind. Blasphemous Act. No, yeah, Blasphemous Act is at like one euro, so like $2. It's still money, I guess. And it sees. It's more because it sees. Yeah, it's also important to note the Blasphemous Act has like has 37 reprints, so it has been reprinted to the ground. Whereas this is the first time we're seeing this card. It's the first time it's ever been printed, so it makes sense that this card will is at $5 actually. I don't think it's as good as Blasphemous Act, but I could see it. I could see people hyping it as the next Blasphemous Act. Next card we got that is at $4 is the another mythic, Valkyria's Call. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. It's a pretty powerful and very like commander face. This has the face of a commander card. Another card that has the face of a commander card is the banner, the tribal banner. Where is it? The Banner of Kinship. It's also at $4. Okay. We don't have that. We have and then we have, oh wow, 2 mythics that I opened, both at $3. It's not too bad though. They're all kind of like $3-4. Like if I've that's not terrible rate. It could be better, but obviously it's not amazing. Nivnizet and Zimone, I do think they're gonna go down in price. Maybe not Zimone, because I do think Zimone is actually a little bit busted, but maybe not. Scrawling Crawler, we didn't open that. We got Authority of the Councils. This card also was worth some money, and it's gone down because it's the first reprint it's getting, I believe. Authority of the Councils, a card I wanted, and a card I'm going to put in my Amalia. I need to remember that. Can you guys see it if I put it there? Yeah, you guys can see it. Okay. And oh, we didn't open Loot. Loot would have also been a really good card to open. And then a card that I wanted. But the next one we got that is also worth $2 is Comma. Comma's a nice one. Comma, this might be too expensive to see play. Oh, hello. There's an uncommon here that I didn't know was at $1. Excuse me? Hold on. Before that, another buck, €1, we got Raise the Pass. And then there's an uncommon here, just kind of lost. Did I put it? I don't think I separated that one. Really? That card is worth $1. Is it because of mono red? It's because of mono red. It has to be. My brain doesn't really compute with mono burn, but I guess. Hold on, I have to find it because I remember seeing it and being like, "This is a mono red card," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna skip it because it's not worth it." But I guess it actually is pretty strong. Let me show you. If I can find... Did I open that many? I know I opened one at least. I might have only opened one in the whole box. Wouldn't surprise me. Sometimes these boxes have tendency to do that kind of nonsense. Really? Am I not finding it? Hello? Here we go, this card. Bolt Wave. This is at $1. This card right here. $1 for this card. 1 red deals 3 damage to each opponent. It's just a mono red card. Why is it at $1? Why? I thought mono red was meant to be cheap. Why is this at $1? Did I open more? Tell me I opened more. I'll sell all of them. I don't care about this nonsense. I don't play mono red. I actually think I only opened one in the whole pack, in the whole box. Oh my god, that would be like the Nazgul nonsense that happened with the One Ring. Maybe that's why it's so expensive, because people aren't opening it. It wouldn't surprise me. I feel like they do sometimes have like secret rarities, even among the rarities, where a card is harder to get than other ones. I mean, that's not really a theory. That has been confirmed that they do that on purpose. They make cards that they think are weak more likely to come out than cards that they think is strong. I actually think that is the only one I got in the whole box. Wow. Wow, wow. Yep. That is indeed the only one, the one copy I got from a whole box. That is insane. I actually don't think I did open one in my pre-release pack though, so it's I got 2 technically, but wow, that is bad. And then after that, around everything else is like 80 cents and it starts going down. So all of this is like below $1 or below €1. So in terms of price, this is all I have, which is horrible. That is bad. Generally, cars are overinflated before they come out, before they're like fully out. In this case, it's like everything is so cheap. But it doesn't surprise me. Core sets tend to have that issue. Core sets have a lot of problems with a lot of the cars tend to like be low in cost, mostly because they're reprints. And a lot, if you look at the cars that are here, all of them, with the exception of this one, all of these are new cars. And most of the other cars, which are like reprints and whatnot, they're like super low, and the other ones are also low. That said, I do want to point out cars that I do think are going to go up in price, because I do think some of these cards that are here are going to go up in price as time goes on. I think Zul is going to go up in price. I think the Abyssal cards here are also going to go up in price. Then I don't think the Abyssal... I think Zul is going to actually be... if they don't reprint it, like in like 2 years, I do think in 2 years from now, this is going to be like a $10 card that everyone is going to be like, if you're playing zombies, you're going to have this in your deck, right? If in Commander, you're playing Commander and you have a zombie deck, this is going to be in your deck. So it's like, it's going to be an auto-include in zombie decks, and if it's not reprinted in like 20 years, in 2 years, it's going to be a 10 buck card. So, which is a rare. That's saying a lot. I do think the Familiar might also be another card that potentially could be worth something. I don't think it's going to go up too much. It might actually still go up in price for other formats. I don't think this card is unplayable in formats like Standard and even Pioneer. It's a lot of bodies for like sack outlets. What other cards do I think are going to go up? I think this card is going to go up a lot. I think this is such an aggressively pushed card. 2-1 for 2. Whenever you attack, raid, at the end of your turn, if you attack this turn, you make a 1-1. Like, that's so pushovely aggressive. You could go like turn 1 drop, turn 2 this, attack with 1 drop, make a 1-1 goblin, and then every turn, whenever you can just attack with that goblin token, and it's gonna make another one. So even if they block and kill it, it's just gonna generate another one. This is so aggressively pushed. It gets stronger the more you have. I think this is gonna be an all-star for standard. I actually do. Or maybe not. Maybe standard is more control based. I guess we're gonna see how that goes. What other cards do I think are probably gonna be a little bit more expensive here? I think Pyrexia Arena potentially could see some play. I think Pyrexia Arena is just an overall powerful card, and I wouldn't be surprised if you have like a standard deck that plays with 4 of these. Maybe not even just standard deck, because it's important to note Pioneer also gets access to the Phyrexian Arena now, which they didn't previously, I think. Leyline Axe, I actually think probably might see some play. A free equipment that you get just for having in your opener is pretty powerful. I don't know. There's a couple other cards here that could potentially see some play, but I think the rest are more like commander driven. And as far as commander goes, Example of Light is probably pretty fine for commander. Alexa, I think, is going to be an all-star for commander. I think the Archmage of Runes are probably fine, but they're not really going to be like too expensive. Maybe like $2 at best. And yeah, overall, that's... Oh, no, there's also this pile. What was here? I think Galenda is also going to be fine. Also, Kellan probably is going to see some play in standard. And there's a couple of cards here that could see some play, but definitely this is not like Bloomburrow or like Duskmourn, where there are cards that I go at, that I look at, and I'm like, yeah, these are staples, right? It's not like the enduring glimmers from Duskmourn, where all of them are kind of just bananas and are going to see play for a very long time. We don't have cards like that here. So these are a lot of more situational and are going to be a lot more dependent on what the meta wants to do with them. But overall, I'm not too unhappy. Even though I am aware that I didn't open that much in price, I didn't really get a box, because I want the price. I got it because of collection, having all of these cards without having to, go out of my way and buy them. Also, getting a lot of these uncommons that overall are nice to have for like multiple decks. I need a lot of, I was missing Kafar Commandos. Now I got a bunch of them, a bunch of Abrades, Llanowar Elves, the new Witness Protection, which I didn't have, the new Blood Artist. There's a rare here for some reason. I wonder if there's any other rare here that I put in by mistake. But overall, also I only opened one of these. Only one of these. Sad. I needed more. Also, Offer You Can't Refuse. Fantastic card that has gone down in price. So there you go. Overall, I am happy with the result. I got kind of what I needed, and kind of what I wanted from this. Could have been better. Yeah, I could have opened some of the more chase mythics. The vampire one, which I kind of wanted. Any planeswalker, I think I would have been happy, because I do like at least having 1 or 2 planeswalkers. There's a couple of other cards here that I am missing that I didn't open that I will get now. I'll get now. I'll order them out online. They're pretty cheap. They're at cents, so it'll kind of just be to have one of each of these rares. I'm not gonna be ordering the expensive ones. I mean, and to be honest, I don't really care about that much about the expensive ones, like doubling season and whatnot. I'm not really a player with those. But overall, pretty good.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait, no, not 4 yet. 4, 5.